Don't just walk out on the feed. I'm coming. I'm here. Who's here? Hey, I'm polishing stuff. Me, nothing's going on at the forge. I am the only one here because I could not work. I had to get a spinal tap yesterday, guys. I don't know if you know this. Those suck. So, if you guys remember, I was telling you I'd had that headache, and then Thursday I started throwing up, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was because of the headache. I had it was called a cluster headache, which is like, it's just a migraine all over your head. And so yesterday, I was at the emergency room at about, 9, I think I got to the emergency room around about 9:30 or so. I wasn't really running much of a temperature. Main complaint was the headache. I mean, it was bad. I couldn't see, I couldn't drive. And so they were like, okay, well, you have an autoimmune disorder. So I had called ahead and told them I was coming. So they put me in an area of the emergency room that's secluded. And so I was not gonna get any sicker by hanging out in the lobby or in the waiting room. And so they came in and they took my temperature. We walked through everything and they asked me a bunch of questions. And they were asking about my daughter, you have any kids? And so I answered all their questions, and it came up that my daughter goes to San Diego Unified School District, and there's been several cases of meningitis in the San Diego Unified School District system. So they're like, well, we gotta do it. We gotta do a spinal tap. So yesterday, I had to lay there while they put a needle in my back, only to find out a couple hours later, there was absolutely nothing wrong. I just had a bad migraine. They gave me a shot of something called Toradol. And so, well, extremely unpleasant considering that I am allergic to the numbing agents. So had to go through all that shit. And then I had to wait an hour after before I could even get up and move. They wanted me to lay perfectly, like just lay there for like an hour. Luckily I had Wi-Fi. I watched Starship Troopers on Prime. And so got all that taken care of. One of the nurses was kind enough to let me borrow her phone charger because I was gonna be there for a while. So at about, I wanna say 2 p.m., they gave me a shot of something to keep me from vomiting because spinal taps make you vomit. So my headache got really worse and then kind of eased off, but they gave me enough meds between the 2 shots that I was asleep in the taxi on the way home, and went into bed and I fell asleep and I stayed that way pretty much till I stayed in bed until about 4 or 5, got up and talked to the wife and kid, and then my headache was still there a little bit, smoked a little bit of weed. That really seemed to help. And then I went to bed. No, I have to work today. I still have work to do. I didn't work Thursday or Friday. I don't know. See, that's the thing. We're gonna have to talk about that. Because it starts getting pricey if I have to put something in and just come up to check on it, just specifically to check on it. And then, I'm driving 18 miles one way to pick it up. I have to think about it. I forget what I did last time. But it can get expensive. I'm really not, I forget what I charged you. There's probably gonna be, this is really hard to polish. I finally just got one side polished. So I imagine there's probably gonna be some extra on this. So we wanna talk about the blade before we make a decision. So let me look at how long it takes to get everything else done. Because I can do the blade separate. If you wanna do the blade, we can do that on the backside. Is an orange peel easy? Yes. Is a good orange peel easy? No. A consistent, even orange peel? No, it's not easy. You've got to learn how to put, it's not that it's a pain. It's just that it's time consuming because like I would have to put it in now and just basically let it tumble until tomorrow and then come up Easter morning and see if it's done. And if it's not done, I have to throw it back in and come back that night. So that's the only part about it that's a pain. So it is warm in here. Just got warm all of a sudden. It's probably about 75 degrees in here now. Don't need this sweatshirt. Lionel. You're not gonna try and get me to translate French because I'm not doing it today. So I still have to, I have not even started polishing the pocket clip yet. So it took me 30 minutes to get that out of there. And I imagine it's gonna take almost as long to get it back in. I had to use a fucking hand. I had to actually use the Arbor Press. So that's that ZT that I showed in the one video, the ZT, the Les George 0920. So, and I've got it here to work on, but I don't think I'm gonna get much done on it. I've got this masked off, so I'm trying to clean up on any excess of the masking material, and then blast off the red, and then do black. So I'm not think I'm gonna do much work on this. No, it's not too heavy. Pretty downright comfortable. So I do believe that I'm only gonna work. So Josh, I'll get a hold of you. I'm not gonna work a whole day today, I don't think. I'll get as much as I can done on that. I don't wanna keep it, I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I just wanna let you guys know I wasn't fucking dead. Because I had been doing a live feed every day. And so it's like, yeah, I probably should at least do an update feed. But yeah, everything's fine. They didn't find anything. Oh yeah, now that headache's gone, I feel way better. I still had a headache when I went to Matt's the other night too. Night before, was it Wednesday night? Yeah, it'd have been Wednesday night. I went to Matt's, and my head hurt, but it wasn't enough that it was like interfering with hanging out with Matt. So, balls. I talked with Big Brown Bear. He was calling me about my pool cleaning service post that I put up on Instagram. It was funny. Hang on a second, guys. I gotta grab something. What's everybody gonna do for Easter? I had to take a break. I couldn't keep polishing. I had to take a quick break. So I was like, fuck it. I'll drink a beer. And my 420 will start later today, possibly tomorrow. Eat rabbits. Last year, 420 fell on a Friday, and it was my first 420 since I'd retired from the military. and it was the first year that I had, you know, started smoking weed. So 420 for me last year was a big deal. I had edibles, I had weed juice, I had, man, I had pretty much anything you could have up here that contained cannabis. And if Nico remembers, I had a hard time driving home that day. I was very slow. And knowing that it was 420, I was feeling very slow, so I had to drive at an uncomfortably high rate of speed because they weren't looking for speeders. So I got on a ramp and gunned it and set my cruise control at about 84 miles an hour. And everybody on the freeway was driving very slow. There's gonna be another modification. I'm gonna open that up all the way today, probably. I should take this apart, but it's just such a pain. But I am gonna take it apart here in a little bit. So guys, just that's all I wanna do. I wanna do a quick update, let you know I am working on stuff. I am now behind, I apologize. Sharpening is all done. It's the refinishing stuff because pretty much I'm limited to weekends. And Chris and Elliot have been busy enough that either I'm gonna have to start coming up in the evening or just only do it on weekends. But I've got enough stuff here, I think I'm gonna have to do a few evenings. So yeah, if you've got something in my house that's in for refinishing, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I apologize. But the nice thing is, there's other services that do the same thing I do, and sometimes you'll wait a couple months. I don't foresee anybody having to wait more than maybe an extra few days for any other stuff that's here. So that area is masked off. That's gonna stay red. Yes, I am gonna open and enlarge that sharpening tool. Or you mean on yours? Are you talking about on yours? I can open that up if you want. I can bring that out so you don't have that ramp. I can do it. I've done it on a few of them. Yeah, then I'm gonna have to, wait, the finish on this is kind of inconsistent. I might want to do that, but here's the thing, it might have to wait until next weekend. I'll get with you, Josh. I don't think to tumble this overnight, I can't Bogart one of their tumblers. So it might have to be done over the course of a few days or over the weekend. And I can't do anything next weekend because my daughter has a skating competition the entire weekend. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, Josh, I'll get with you. This is called Corona Familiar. And so it's what a Corona tastes like if you're in Mexico, which I've been to Mexico a few times, and it does. Coronas don't taste the same in the States. This tastes exactly like a Corona does when you're in Mexico. It's imported from Mexico, and it's good. I love Coronas. I had never really drank Coronas in Mexico until I came out here one time. We used to drink Corona a lot. Matter of fact, in my younger, dumber years, my friend John, who passed away here a couple years ago, John would show up at my house, or I would pick him up from, we were on different ships. I would either pick him up from work, and we would get a case of Coronas, and we would drive around drinking them in my car, and and then we would stop to open a new one, and we would fucking just drive around drinking beer in my car until the Corona was all gone. Then we'd park the car, we'd go to my house, we would change clothes because we were still basically in the clothes that we had worn to work, my civilian clothes, and then we would go out and drink at the little bars down the hill from my apartment. We were fucking stupid. I'd drink a 12-pack. Sometimes we get 2 cases and drink a case each, just wind up fucking sleeping in a park somewhere in a parking lot. Fucking just passed out in my car. But my car had a TV, so it's pretty convenient. can neither confirm nor deny that my Coshocton ass has done that. In the parking lot of the plaza in Coshocton, Ohio. So if you go to Coshocton, go down to the plaza, that's where the IGA, that's where the Big Lots, the DMV, Chris, you'll figure out where I'm talking about. And we would just hang out in that parking lot and drive around in circles and drink beer and whiskey. It was like the Walmart parking lot, but we didn't have a Walmart back then, so. Yeah, Josh, I'll get with you. I can open that up. I might be able to do that. Matter of fact, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I think there's a smoke shop down there. Well, I haven't been home in a couple years, but there's a smoke shop down there. That's where the Tractor Supply Company is. And if you go further down that road to where right across the street from the funeral home, there's a place called Rural King, R-U-R-A-L, rural, as in country, King. And if you want anything Amish made that's pickled, they have it there. My wife loved that place. We actually went there. We were there the one winter for Christmas. And we brought my daughter stuff, and we bought her a bunch of snow clothes because it was winter and we didn't have any of that stuff out here in California. Oh crap, I got stuff all over my face. So yeah. All right, guys, I gotta get off of here. I was just taking a quick break, letting you guys know what's up. I'm not dead. Not gonna lie, I don't want another spinal tap, but I will tell you that I'm glad we went through all of the possible scenarios of what was wrong with me, because with that autoimmune disorder and the meds that I take, it's pretty easy for me to catch something like that. So I will talk to you all later. Dustin, I want to clean that smatch it up and wipe it down with oil real good and probably oil the sheath before I try and send it, because the thing is, when I ship it to you, they might fly it. I know that I think you're in Northern California here, but if they fly it, it's gonna temperature change, it might rust. I mean, even with temperature change, like just in different areas. So I don't want it to wind up going from an air conditioned space or a cool space to hot space and things like that. And then you get then you got a knife that's got rust all over it. Cause it will fucking discolor and it will rust real easy. It's 1095 steel. So Colorado, yeah, it definitely needs a good coat of oil and a wipe down and everything. So guys, love you guys. I appreciate it. There was a bunch of you guys that texted, a bunch of people that have my phone number that actually texted me. It's like, hey, I want a live feed. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just had to do some explaining. Had some splaining to do. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to do some video about this. So I'm going to take a break on that for a minute and let things cool down. And then I'll take this apart and stuff. So, yep. Happy Easter. For all you stoners out there, happy 420. There'll probably be an Instagram live feed, me sparking up a bowl. That'll probably be it.